right. Hey, I want to welcome everybody out there to Amateur Radio Roundtable. This show is about ham radio and shortwave listeners and electronics. So if you're out there on shortwave listening tonight on WBCQ on 7490, we'd really love to hear from you. Send us an email to tom@w5kub.com, tom@w5kub.com. Tell us where you are, give us a signal report, tell us how the station sounds, and let us know where you are there. Okay, so I need everybody to do me a favor. You know what it is. You got to hit that subscribe button down here. See the little button? I put the arrow up there. You need to hit that subscribe button right there. I'm pointing at it. That helps us to promote our channel. So please do that for us. All right. Also, join our Facebook group. You can join our Facebook group just by going to W5KUB. And we've got about 13,000 members now in our group, and a great group of people. And it follows the show and a lot of the projects we do, and just everything ham related, shortwave. It's in there. So just got back from hamvention. And I think I got a sore throat and a headache. Hope it's not COVID. Maybe it's not. Anyway, so I'm going to be fighting kind of a little sore throat here tonight, but I think we can make it. We're going to have some fun tonight. We got some great guests on here with us tonight. And first, for you guys that did not go up to hamvention, let me give you a little taste of what it was like. So watch this right here. I think this is it.
Attention on the grounds. Attention on the grounds. We have a storm approaching that contains small hail and some cloud-to-ground lightning. There is a storm approaching with small hail and cloud-to-ground lightning that should make the ground within the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Whoa, that's kind of fast. All right, guys.
All right, so that's what we dealt with all weekend. Small hail, winds, cloud-to-ground lightning, but hey, we made it through it, and there was some sunshine, quite a bit of sunshine. There was some rain each day, but quite a bit of sunshine, so we made it all right. And you know, it wasn't quite this bad right here. I know some people. Oh, that's not it. I know some people had more fun outside in the flea market spaces. What do you think, Glenn? That looked like you last year.
That looked like me back in 2017.
Yeah, the last time. Yeah, that looked like here. Well, here, this guy here says he's finally starting to miss Sahara Arena. Look at that.
No, I don't, because what people are forgetting is that Hera Arena parking lot was a lunar landscape, and it destroyed 2 pairs of shoes of mine within a 6-year period. So I'll pass.
Well,
and the shoes I wore this weekend, I actually, came home with, and they were clean.
Yeah, I had some new tennis shoes, and they kind of got a little bit of dirt and water on the top of them, out there.
Flea markets were absolutely fine.
But I didn't
rained.
I didn't get in the mud.
It rained Thursday morning or Friday morning, just a little bit, and then it came down heavy. Friday afternoon?
I mean, I don't know.
And then or Saturday afternoon.
Yeah,
Saturday, about 3:00 Saturday afternoon. But by the time 5:00 rolled around, it was already through. But you could see the skirts on that table.
What did it do Sunday? We left Sunday morning. Was there any rain at all Sunday morning?
It did a little bit, I think. I think most of it had passed.
Yeah.
I flew out at noon, and it was already gone by then.
Okay. Well, we've got some guests on here tonight. We've got from the CAP, the Civil Air Patrol. We've got some guests on here tonight. Captain Jim Harris, KF5 TPT, and Colonel Bob Mims. Let's see if the Colonel's there. Are you there, Colonel?
I am.
Well, come on in here and say hello to everybody out there.
Evening, folks. Good to be with you.
Well, that's great. Now, tell us where you are. You're down in Mississippi somewhere.
Well, I'm in Oxford, Mississippi tonight. It's my home.
Okay.
Folks all over the state, though.
All right. Well, very good. How about you, Jim? Jim Harris, come on in here. KF5 TPT. How you doing tonight? Are you there, Jim?
Muted.
There we go. Took the mute off. Yeah, if I got any better, I'd probably get arrested. I'm here in Olive
Yeah,
Branch,
there he
not
is.
too far
Okay,
from where
we got you
are.
there. We got you in there now. Okay. Well,
How's
I
that?
tell you what. Neither one of you guys made it up to the Hamfest, did you? To hamvention,
No.
I guess.
Mm-mm.
We, you know what? I should have got you guys. We could have took the CAP plane up there.
Well, we might could.
You know.
Now, you got to realize now, my background is pretty much operations, both in the military and Civil Air Patrol, but I'm smart enough to know that communications are the backbone of what I used to do. So,
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that tonight and how communications helps you guys, and also
well, can't do without it.
I think you might even want to recruit some of these communications people that we have out there. Well, look, hey, let's just jump right into the Civil Air Patrol and find out and let everybody know out there everything about the CAP, and I'll just throw it over to you guys. I don't know who's going to start or what you got, but I think you got some pictures and stuff. So
Well, I've got some pictures if I can make it work.
yeah, you'll do it. You'll do it.
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna get this off the screen.
Oh, you did it on the rehearsal.
I did it in the rehearsal, and now I can't do it on live. Trying to figure out how to.
Up there at that slideshow up there at the top.
Oh, you can see that right there.
I can
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
Very good.
So all you got to do is open it. There you go.
There you go.
Now, can you maximize? There you go.
I got it.
I mean,
Oh, that's me.
let me adjust it just a little bit because it's bigger
right.
than my screen here. Well, not sure if I'm gonna be able to get it all in there or not.
Well, you get about 2/3 of it. We're good.
Well, I think we're okay. We'll see how it goes.
Sure.
All right. Well, go ahead, Colonel Mims. Let's talk about CAP.
Well, I want to thank you for letting me have the opportunity, both Jim and I. We've got people operating volunteers all around the country. So if you've got folks all around the country listening to this, I would encourage you to listen good. Take a hard look at Civil Air Patrol because it's not something that is well advertised. We tend to go about doing our volunteer service in the background, making things happen, kind of focused on serving our communities locally and responding to whatever goes wrong and saving lives and then shaping futures for our young kids. So we've got a wide variety of missions, and all of them involve communications in one way or another, including a dedicated mission for it. So a little bit about who we are. It's a congressionally chartered nonprofit. We're all volunteers. Technically, we're an auxiliary of the Air Force. So when we're called up, we don't get paid. We don't fall under a typical Air Force Reserve or Air National Guard type funding or obligation. We just volunteer to go help out. So it's kind of a neat little niche that we have to do some serious work. Got a long history. The Civil Air Patrol was formed back before World War II as part of the Defense Civilian Act, but we no longer have a civilian defense role, but we're still in business. And back during the war, literally we were out looking for German U-boats, shipping, survivors of shipping, anything that was offshore from the United States. And then we got into training military pilots, and one of the first squadrons was right here in my state, down in Singing River Squadron in Pascagoula, Mississippi. So our particular wing here in Mississippi goes way back. So after the war, we kind of evolved a lot, and now we've expanded to do a lot more than just coastal patrol, even though that's something we still do. We've gotten into a lot of aerospace education, which now has a huge role in the Air Force because we're really trying to educate our young people today about the value and need for them in the in aerospace world of the future. There are critical shortages in all fields, all kinds of aviation-related businesses. Because we're in the youth programs and then emergency services where, you know, the comm really gets serious for us. It's all volunteer-driven. We're pretty much summed up by our mission statement and vision statement. Volunteers, that's 9 words, really hammers home exactly what we are. Volunteers serving Americans, communities, saving lives and shaping futures. So the missions are really organized around that. As you can see, we're a lot of volunteers, 56,000 members around the United States. Largest single fleet of Cessna and single engine aircraft, gliders, balloons, drones. We got 2,200 drones and a lot of pretty highly sophisticated aerial mapping and video capability. And then we run one of the few kind of defense-related nationwide HF networks, because it doesn't do any good to go out and respond to disasters when all the communications are down and you don't have any way to talk to anybody. So we'll roll in with mobile comm units and be able to get that information back to the folks that can use it and make the plan. So here are our core competencies right here, focused around aerospace education for not only youth, but senior members. We run a lot of youth programs. We start kids at 12 years old, and they can stay in the cadet program right up through 21, and then, of course, become a senior member. But when I say senior, I don't mean old. I just mean over 21. And then emergency services on the right there, search and rescue, and then communications is right there at the top of our responsibilities. And a lot of other things that are really worked around the responsibility as an Air Force auxiliary. In the aerospace education, we do a lot of work to align ourselves with the educational academic standards. So we provide schools and teachers with lesson plans and STEM kits, all for free. There are 21 different STEM kits to help anybody from pre-K through 12 with the kind of math, science, engineering, technology stuff that are really going to make them successful in the future. And it includes comm STEM kits too. So we are all into the youth, and that's where we, as a rule, that's where we make the greatest long-term impact. Every year we save countless lives through rescue and search efforts. And of course, those are one-off individuals, and it certainly wouldn't have lived without us. But when you talk about what we're doing for the youth of our country, you're creating differences that last a lifetime. So really one of my focuses as the wing commander in Mississippi is to reach as many youth as we can. So we perform an awful lot of search and rescues. Basically, we're involved in about 90% of what goes on in the United States. We have a tremendous cell phone forensics and radar analysis group that can locate somebody almost immediately. Of course, with everybody having cell phones right now, makes our work a lot easier. We've got a lot of advanced search and rescue capabilities, radio locators, and we run a lot of coastal missions now. Like in Mississippi, each of the coastal counties, we run missions on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, late evening, just looking for stranded boaters, tied back to our original missions, before the war. Of course, the big deal. It probably makes the most publicized, or a response to a disaster, a flood, hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes, things like that, including tsunamis, because we're out on the both coast and in Hawaii too. But all of these have to be supported by communications. And so we maintain a really robust communications group. Jim's really the kind of the heart of that in my wing here. And a lot of networking. He's on nets all the time. And Jim is more of an expert than me. I'm the operator that uses it. I come from a C-130 background. I think Tom and I were talking in the 69, 70, back when C-130s would go across the pond. And if you didn't have HF capability, you weren't talking to anybody. So I fully understand the value of being able to talk to folks. And, from what I can tell, HF, except outside of your world, in the ham world, was kind of going by the wayside. We started, relying on satellite communications and the internet, and we started letting that capability go away. And the military has looked towards CAP now to really beef that up and create a capability that really serves the country well in case of a national disaster. Because, you have a hurricane, the first thing that goes down are all the cell towers and then the power. And so if you don't have a mobile capability with a self-contained power supply, you're just out of comm. And so that's what they're looking at us to do. Just in Mississippi alone, we have 2 mobile units, fully capable, all types of communications. And of course, in normal times with full power, we run a VHF network of repeaters throughout the state so we can talk to each other. So here's just the impact by the numbers, just on a typical year, and we save a lot of lives. And the return on investment is pretty much incredible for what the government spends on us, because basically we work for nothing. We fly the airplanes, run the comm. They provide us with terrific equipment. The aircraft are first class. We're upgrading all the comm now if we haven't already done it. And just a great organization to work with, because you really get a good high-tech set of equipment that's ready to serve. So we're mostly about people. It takes you said 56,000 volunteers, and takes all of us to make this thing work, and we serve our communities daily. We have units all over the United States, and we always have a need for communicators. There's different capabilities depending upon the location. And I mean, if you're in the heart of the United States, you're not too worried about a devastating hurricane, which takes out everything, but you're certainly worried about the tornado that rips across your state and takes out a large swath. So there's a role everywhere. We vary a little bit between the states. Each state has its own wing. Each wing is divided into local squadrons. And in Mississippi, we're north to south, all the way from DeSoto, which is just south of Memphis, all the way down to Pascagoula, Gulfport on the coast, and everywhere in between. So regardless of where you live, of course, we'd love for you to join in Mississippi, but if you're halfway around the country, I'd like to see you take the opportunity to check us out. Look at the opportunities that we offer for volunteer service. You'll get a good, warm, fuzzy feeling, whether you're saving a life or impacting the future of our country. So there's so many different ways to serve and make a difference. It's unbelievable. So I really appreciate the opportunity to chat a few minutes about it. I'm kind of pushing my time limit right now. If you want to find something more about CAP, there are 2 ways to do it really quick. QR code in the bottom right hand. If you click on that, it'll take you to a website called GoCivilairPatrol.com. really simple. We don't make it hard. And that'll give you just a world of information about what we are, where we are, what we do, and how to join, which is the key there. When we'd love to have you. So I don't know if I got time to answer questions or address anything else you want to bring up, Tom, but I've enjoyed kind of presenting a little bit. This is about as short of an elevator pitch that I can make on CAP.
Well, yeah, let's talk a little about it.
A couple of hours, I could roll on forever.
Yeah,
so
let's
appreciate it.
I'd like to point out something too about the programs for the kids, the 12 to 18-year-olds. We have got programs that will get a kid 16-year-old as pilot's license. In fact, we've had 2 of our cadets solo at the age of 16. 2 of them got their pilot's license at the age of 17. And we have 3 cadets now attending the Air Force Academy, 1 on the way, and 1 cadet attending the Naval Academy at Annapolis. So there's plenty of programs out there for the kids, and that's what it's all about. It's about these kids.
Well, the interesting thing about it, they're involved in everything we do. Like our big drone program, we qualify these guys as young as 12 years old. Now, they can't have a 107 license, which is, a qualified mission drone pilot, but every drone team has 3 people, an observer, a pilot, recorder. So it takes a little, just like an airplane where you fly with 3 people, fly a drone with 3 people. So there's a role for them no matter what. And what Jim was talking about with the flying business, the Air Force is working through us as the auxiliary to get young people involved in aviation and to try to meet the aviation needs of our country in the future, because there is a critical shortage, both in the commercial side and in the military side. And so we offer the opportunity to get, if you do everything, if you fill the requirements, are a good kid, working hard, you can get your private pilot's license paid for.
That's
and there's
great.
no commitment to get that either. So
yeah,
it's some wonderful opportunities that most kids never even dream about, much less have or take advantage of.
So hey, Bob, tell me, how many people does the Mississippi wing have?
We have about just under 500 people.
500.
That's down from a high of around 700 pre-COVID. And we've grown back about 20% of our membership. In the last year, kind of semi-post-COVID. Yep. Now there are a lot. We're not the smallest wing, but we're spread out pretty good.
So I see my son in the chat room. He was in he was in the CAP last century. That was my son. I don't remember now. Was there any fees up front for people? You provide uniforms and everything, or is there any cost that a person has to pay?
Sure. Let's take the cadets first. If you join as a cadet, there's I think it's $30 a year, Jim?
$35 a year.
$35 a year.
Okay.
And they get a small initial uniform allowance that they can use to purchase uniforms through Vanguard. We typically wear an Air Force uniform, blues with, the kids love that. Then we're in ABUs now. It does cost a little bit. It's not like a junior ROTC where everything is paid for.
Yeah.
But we do our best to keep it to a minimum. Right now, it's very inexpensive because we're taking Air Force hand-me-downs as they transition to a new uniform. So basically, if a cadet were to join now in Mississippi Wing, you're probably going to get it almost for nothing.
Yeah.
Now,
okay. So
senior members, we have we wear both Air Force style uniform, and we also have corporate uniform. I've got on a corporate shirt here.
Oh, okay.
Gray slacks with a little blue knit shirt.
Well, the uniforms have changed a lot over the years. I guess, hey, if I joined today, could I wear? I mean, I've got some clothes up in the attic. I mean,
Okay, so your 4-button uniform is out of date.
out of date.
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna have to upgrade then, right? I have to upgrade.
Now,
Okay.
Tom, if your uniforms are stored in a dark place, they have a tendency to shrink because of being in the dark.
Well, mine did shrink. It did.
Yeah, mine did too.
Yeah.
Now, honestly, I'm still wearing. When I retired in 2000, I retired 30 years in the year 2000, April Fool's Day. I tried to call it a joke and stay in, but they wouldn't let me. I was wearing what then was the new style 3-button Class A's. It's still in use. It still fits, and I'm still wearing it.
Wow.
Now,
You're doing good.
My BDUs are starched and hanging up in the closet.
So
They're not authorized anymore.
So, Jim, the new uniforms, they may stretch then if Bob's still wearing the same uniform after, what, 20 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, Tom, you're going to have to paint all your green ones blue.
Well, I got blue. I got blue also. Yeah.
Well, now,
But,
Tom
well,
and
I
started
got
off
dress
with, green
blues.
fatigues and what we call a 1505, which is the old
Yeah.
khaki-colored uniform.
Yeah. Okay, well, hey, that's cool. Now, hey, so, back when you and I were young, just about everybody our age served in the military. Just for one fact, there was a draft out there. And most everybody our age served. But so I don't know how many young people are actually joining, now. Is there any incentive? I mean, if they're in the CAP for 4 or 5 years, does that help them if they go into the military?
It does. Very similar to the junior ROTC program. You get a bump in rank if you enlist. Now, probably the biggest advantage is the experience you gain is, let's just be quite frank about it, great resume stuff. Mm-hmm. If you want to go to college and get a scholarship and get into ROTC, which then leads to a commissioning as a lieutenant. So a lot of ways you can skin that cat and serve your country, enlisted or as an officer. But the experience that these kids get is based on a military format, not like boot camp, but the discipline, the structure that they get. Like Jim told you about the kids we've got at the academies. Those kind of stories are all across the country, where a higher percentage of the kids have some kind of experience growing up, either ROTC or Civil Air Patrol, and I'll go the Boy Scout route too. Some kind of an organization which is structured, disciplined, responsible, and gives them that little bit of different lifestyle than just a kid that doesn't have that at all. So military recognizes that and takes care of them.
Okay. Well, I had about almost 3 years of ROTC experience, Army, but I didn't tell them when I went in. I just kind of, I just let it go,
You laid low. Well, now you see, when we went to college, you had to be in ROTC for 2 years.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, let's see, question. Do you guys ever have any kind of deployments where you bring these cadets in for a few days at a time, take them out somewhere, make them swing over mud puddles, crawl through culverts and stuff?
One of the things we do for them every year is run a summer encampment for about 10 days. Every wing's a little different. We utilize the facilities down at Camp Shelby, Mississippi, and then bring in a lot of Air Force stuff. So it's academics, it's physical training, marching, of course, but leadership reaction courses, a lot of outdoor activities that are focused on teamwork, team building, leadership, problem solving. And so it's like a leadership encampment. They are actually required to go do that to make a certain rank. So they can be a cadet, but to get the full cadet experience, we actually require them to go. So it's a great experience. I mean, it's a lot of fun. They learn an awful lot when they go to these
I may have
summer
missed it
camps.
earlier. You were talking about the C-130. Are there any joint missions that the CAP might do with the Air Force?
Yes.
Where they get to ride on some of these planes and go places?
Yeah. We, in fact, we're negotiating right now. Hopefully we'll have a C-17 down at our encampment for them to go ride on. The Army's going to bring down a couple of Chinooks and take them on a nap of the earth ride with the back door open, ramp and door open. So those are usually exciting. It's to give them the kind of experience that if they even have a tiny little spark to think about education, we're going to ignite it and let it grow into a raging fire, I guess. Because we need them so badly in aviation careers, not just pilots, but anything associated with airplanes, from maintenance to comm to flying to engineering to well, if there's a civilian job out there, there's a military equivalent. So serving in the Air Force is one thing, but we're not recruiters. We just encourage them to do something with their lives productive.
Yeah, you
we
mentioned.
And you remember the Gulf oil spill a number of years ago?
Yeah.
We got involved in that. I flew for a week during that Gulf oil spill. And
Event Horizon lasted almost 6 months for us, Jim.
Yeah, but I was just down there for a week.
Yeah.
And also hurricanes. We get called out. Had to go to Tallahassee a couple of years ago to support hurricane cleanup, and we get called out quite a bit.
Now those things we do. We work for a couple of different bosses. Once we're activated on a national level response, we'll work for MEMA, the Mississippi Emergency Management, or FEMA, or CAP Active Duty. So there are a lot of ways we say we're activated, but I kind of go back to, it's not like the National Guard activating. They just call us up and we go volunteer. And they put the gas in the airplane and I go have fun.
Well, you mentioned the C-130 earlier. That was my airplane back then.
Oh, where were you stationed?
Well, I was in Altus, Oklahoma for a couple of years in the mob, and then overseas in South Korea. But
okay,
that was a cool plane. I mean, we would fly in the back of the thing, and I found the coolest spot in that plane was to go back here on that tailgate and lay down right over that big crack, where you can see the ground through it, and lay down back here, and it was much quieter and much cooler back there. Now, I'm gonna tell you just the one little secret. I hope maybe your cadets aren't listening, but if they ever get to fly on a 130, maybe you guys have more discipline than we had, but we would go on some deployments, and the pilots would get the C-130 all trimmed out, and we would run to the back. A bunch of us would run to the back, and they'd have to trim it out again, and then we'd run to the front, and then they'd have to trim it out again. So the plane was always kind of, doing one of these things, So cadets, if you're listening, you don't want to do that.
Tom, did you get to fly in a 141 while you were?
I never flew on a 141, man.
Yeah, I was a flight engineer on 141.
Were you? I tell you. I was amazed at the 130. I think that's probably one of the nicest, bestest airplanes. That thing is still flying today, I think.
And they're still building them. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So.
That's the first plane I ever saw. We went somewhere, and they reversed the props, and that thing backed up. I'm thinking.
And they had HF radios, too.
Yeah, I'm thinking, hey, this airplane can back up. That is so cool, man. Well,
got a couple of questions in the chat room there.
Sure.
And I'm assuming this is for the pilot side of things, and that's are flight simulators at home a good way to actually learn?
Yes, as a matter of fact, they are. Procedurally, they're really good. In fact, in the Mississippi wing, we've just bought a couple of flight simulators. You're not going to get in them and make them move. Can't afford anything like that. But we've got we bought some high-end gaming computers, and all of our aircraft are equipped with Garmin G1000s, which are basically glass cockpits. So we've got them set up now with a nice little curve monitor, so you can go fly your instrument approaches procedurally. It's tactile. You can touch the controls, turn the knobs, punch the buttons. So you can sit there in your the calm and the quiet and do a lot of the repetitive things that you need to do before you go fly, because flying is still an expensive proposition. So you want to be able to focus on more important things than punching buttons and twisting knobs. You want to have that kind of into your muscle memory and your procedures, so you don't have to think about it. So if you have the right kind of equipment, it can actually benefit directly when you go fly. Now, just for the average kid who has a flight sim or what is it, flight X-plane, or a couple of other commercially produced flight simulators, they're not bad at all these days. The graphics can be pretty darn good if you've got, especially if you've got a pretty good gaming computer. The visual is probably better than what I had when I was going through simulators in the C-130s the first time, because we didn't even have a visual. So they've come a long way too. So.
Well, David here mentioned not only the 130, but the C5A. And of course, that was at Altus. I used to walk under it every morning when I'd go to work. I'd walk under that thing, and wow.
When were you at Altus?
When was I there? I was there in about 70, 71, somewhere in there.
I was there from 80 to 84.
Yeah. I'm not even sure the C5 is still flying. I mean, is it still out there or not?
Yeah.
Yep. There are 50 of them still left on active duty.
Good, cool.
Roughly 50.
I finally figured out how to keep the tires on them too.
I heard a story once. This thing back when it was new, and they landed at a show, and they had all the dignitaries over there, and they landed, and 17 tires came off, and they rolled by the reviewing stand. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but
there was one on the initial arrival at Altus. The first C5 that got to Altus did a low pass, and one of the tires came off.
Yeah, well, it had plenty of tires. I think it had something like 34 or 38 tires, so it had plenty of tires. So I wouldn't worry about losing one or two.
Yeah, it looked like a bunch of ants carrying a loaf of bread across the ramp.
Yeah. Well, hey, this is exciting about the CAP down there. You guys are doing some good things down there, and it sounds like a great opportunity for the youth here to learn and get experience and to have fun too. While they're doing it. And man.
Did we mention we have HF radios?
Yeah,
I heard you say that. I got really lucky in my younger years. I was on site at Pratt & Whitney Aircraft Government Products down in West Palm Beach, doing a lot of jet engine research projects. But just down the road, they had the Sikorsky Flight Research Center, and they had one of those full-blown simulators. And I got to be real good friends with the simulator maintenance chief, and I guess I ended up with about 1,000 hours in the helicopter simulator, and it was one of those full motion ones. So we'd go up every evening under the auspices of maintenance checks. So that was a lot of fun way back then. We've got another question in the chat room, and y'all are going to have to translate this one for me.
Oops.
They saw me coming and canceled the draft, which is probably a smart thing. But will AFR 35-10 be enforced?
That's probably a uniform hair regulation.
It's 39-1 now. If you wear the Air Force uniform, yes. If you wear the corporate uniform, well, you can look like this.
Yeah, that's a terrific question. We obviously referring to senior members. We have senior members in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Mm-hmm. And so we have both the Air Force uniform and what we call a corporate uniform. So if you meet the Air Force height and weight standards, in other words, you look pretty decent in a uniform, you are authorized to wear the Air Force uniform. And the only difference is the rank is slightly different Rather than a blue epaulette when you wear them, it's a gray. There are a couple other little insignia things, but if you're not really into uniforms, you could mistake me from an active duty officer. But I don't wear that. In fact, I wear that very seldom. When I go places, I'll wear the corporate shirt, the blue shirt, gray slacks. We have a tactical uniform, which is kind of a dark navy blue pants with all the pockets that you fill it with anything you want, and a dark blue shirt, which is good for basically a good utility uniform. So you can have long hair and a beard and still belong and feel right in place.
So, how often do you meet, and is there a requirement that a person has to make so many meetings to be in?
Well, now meetings, they vary. As many different units you got, you different schedules. In Jim's squadron up there, the DeSoto Composite Squadron, the seniors meet on the first and the third Thursday of every month, and the cadets meet every Monday night. And they usually meet for an hour and a half to 2 hours. And it's a very structured. Some nights it's about aerospace education. Some nights it's about health and fitness. Some nights it's about leadership development. We always running character development lessons, life skills, life lessons. So everywhere you go, you'll find a different schedule. And on that link that I showed you, or the GoCivilAirPatrol.com, if you want to find a unit, what you do is you click on join. You're not going to commit anything. And you get to a place where you put in your zip code and you say, tell me all the units within 100 miles of me.
And it won't be Jimmy Walker or Joe Namath asking you for your zip code either.
No, that's correct. But nobody's going to harass you or even email you. You got to be, to get somebody to talk to you, you need to be proactive and actually ask a question. But what you do is you put your zip code in and find a unit near you, and then click on it, and it'll give you the meeting time, place, the squadron commander, the point of contact, how to call them, and get in touch with them. And you just call them up and say, I'm interested. Or you're still meeting at this place and this time. We keep pretty active and updated databases, so used to be accurate all the time. With COVID, you never know. So some units are still virtual, and we have some members are still a little bit hesitant to come back in person, especially if they've got some serious underlying medical stuff. So a lot of our units are doing in-person meetings with a virtual option. Like I said, we've gotten pretty good at it. So, but everybody's a little different. There is, remember, keyword here, volunteers. You give what you can. You give the time that you can, and we say thank you. And that's about it. If you're my age and you're retired kinda, and you volunteer to take on a job like I did, it cost me about 4 or 5 hours a day.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Bob, is there any other email addresses or websites that you want to throw out there for people to, if you're interested, to get in touch with you guys?
Well, if you're in any particular state, you can probably put in the I'm guessing now. If you go on if you're looking for a website and you just want to shortcut it, you could probably put in the 2-letter identifier of your state plus WG at cap.gov.
Yeah, if you want the Mississippi, the DeSoto, our website is ms096.cap.gov.
Okay.
Otherwise,
he's going to recruit for his squadron. So, but now, like for Mississippi, I gave you the generic solution. So Mississippi would be MSWG, that stands for Mississippi Wing, at cap.gov. That'll take you to our statewide website, which now has a link to all of the individual units
All
around
right.
the
So,
state.
okay, I'm
And
going
there's a
to
join button and all that kind of stuff.
I'm going to key this in right here. MS, what was that?
MSWG
WG.
at CAP.
Did you say at?
Well, that's
That's
the
an email address. I'm looking
that's
for
email.
mswg.cap.gov.
.cap.gov.
All right, let me start over. MS
Yep. WG
WG
.cap
CAP
.gov.
.gov. Okay, there we go, right there.
So Tennessee wing, for example, would be TNWG.
There it is right there.
.gov.
There it is right there. It tells
Thank
you all
you.
about it, the units and members.
Click on the units there.
Yep. Okay.
Got my kids flying drones.
Well, very good. A lot of good information there.
Yes, sir.
Those pictures that you saw there, that old gentleman, those are World War II veterans. One of them's 102 that we honored.
Look as healthy as I do.
Yep. Yeah.
They were amazing.
Well, that's good.
The DeSoto Squadron put on a really nice shindig for them right before Christmas. It was a great experience.
All right,
They
guys.
were-
Well, look, hey, thank you so much for coming in here tonight and talking about CAP. You're welcome to stick with us the rest of the show if you want to, and
I may do that.
whatever. You just stay with us. Leave whenever you want to. If it gets boring, it's just up to you. But we thank you for coming in here and being with us.
Well,
Yeah,
I
thanks.
thoroughly enjoyed it. Enjoyed meeting you, Tom. Appreciate the opportunity to talk about Civil Air Patrol.
Yeah.
And thanks for having us. We're going to make Glenn our communications guru.
There you
Well,
go.
that's good.
Good luck with that.
Let's get him. Let's get that mustache trimmed up, my hair cut, and get him in a uniform there. And
We'll take him as he
You
is.
guys keep talking about this stuff, hair. You know, I mean, what is this?
Then we'll take you just like you are, man.
All right.
Lucky you.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much, man, for being with us. We really appreciate that. And hey, come back anytime, and we'll do it again and talk about it again. Hey, while we're at it here, the little cover for the show tonight was let's see, I had a picture here that I had posted out there. There we go. Hey, by the way, that is Tony VK3YV there on the left side of the picture, me in the center, and that's Brian VK3LF there on the right. They're from Australia. They flew into California last week and drove over to Hamvention here. So I got to meet him and see him, and he's in the chat room tonight. And hey, Tony, it was great seeing you this weekend there at Hamvention, man. We had a good time there. All right, so let me see. What can we talk about? I'll tell you what, let's do this. We'll be right back, everybody. Just stand by, and we'll be right back.
LDG Electronics provides state-of-the-art antenna tuners for every amateur need. From QRP to QRO, fixed stations, portable and remote, an LDG tuner will match your radio to your antenna using our lightning-fast, proprietary tuning algorithms. LDG is a family-owned and operated company dedicated to bringing innovative, quality products to the amateur market. All LDG products carry a full 2-year warranty that is fully transferable. Support is only a phone call or email away. We're always here to help you. Visit us on the web at ldgelectronics.com.
Be a field day leader with ICOM. Field Day is ham radio's most popular event and is just around the corner. It's June 26th and 27th. More than 40,000 North American hams come together to operate remotely. Contact with nature, contact with friends. With a powerful and high-quality ICOM base station, easily cut through the pileups to get that contesting edge. Our popular IC705 portable, the IC7300, and the IC7610 SDR transceivers are the clear choice for DXers and contesters across the globe. The IC705 is a perfect transceiver for hams who enjoy both the great outdoors and indoors, or field day. It's a portable package covering HF 6 meters, 2 meters, and 70 centimeters, and is weighing in at just under 2 pounds. It has a 4.3-inch touchscreen with a live band scope and waterfall. It runs 5 watts with a battery or 10 watts with a 13.8 volt DC power supply. Integrated GPS with antenna and GPS logger, and the speaker microphone, the HM243, comes standard. The IC7300 is a high-performance, innovative HF transceiver with a compact design that will far exceed your expectations. This innovative HF transceiver digitizes RF before various receiver stages, reducing the generated inherent noise in different IF stages. It has RF direct sampling, 15 discrete bandpass filters, a large 4.3-inch color touchscreen, and real-time spectrum scope. The IC7610 is the SDR every ham wants. This high-performance SDR has the ability to pick out faint signals in the presence of stronger adjacent signals. The ICOM IC7610 is a direct sampling, software-defined radio that has changed the world's definition of an SDR transceiver. It has RF direct sampling, 110 dB RMDR, independent dual receiver, and dual digiselect. For more information, visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur. All right, guys, we are back. Let me get that echo off. There we go. We're back. Do we have echo? Oh, yeah.
You got it.
Now we don't have echo. All right. Hey, let me just take a moment here again to say hello to all of our listeners out there that might be tuning in on shortwave. You know, many of us were shortwave listeners, and that's how we got into ham radio. It's a great hobby, and we had a lot of fun with it back over the years. Send us an email to tom@w5kub.com. Let us know where you are in the world and how you're hearing the station on 7490. It's coming to you out of Monticello, Maine up there. We're not a high-power station up there. We're only running 50,000 watts, so we're kind of low power. But it does get out, and I have actually taken some remote SDR receivers and listened to the show from various different countries from time to time. So shoot us at the email and let us know where you are. And just, again, everybody, hey, all the people that didn't hear my announcement at first, please hit that subscribe button. We need you to hit the subscribe button right down there. I'm pointing at it right there. And that will help us to advertise the show to other people on the YouTube channels right there. Hey, Glenn, just real quick, man. I know you got your new radio. Tell us real quick. Take 7 seconds or less. Tell us all about your new radio.
Well, I am planning to retire here in a couple years, and I decided it was time to get me that one radio that I've always wanted and just never seemed to have the time or the money for or whatever. So for the past year and a half or so, I have been selling off the other parts of the shack and saving up my pennies, and finally reached the point on this trip that the stars aligned, and I said I'm going to do it, and went one more time over into the Yaesu booth, and they ran me out, left a little bit too much drool on the floor, so they kicked me out. So I went across the aisle there to Gigaparts and placed an order for the Yaesu FT101 MP, and I went with the Max package, which is all the bells and whistles and filters and everything in the rig. And it arrived today. It's 200 watt rig, pretty much near the top of the line for Yaesu, and I had it on the table here a little while ago while I was unpacking it, and the cat has already claimed it as hers, so we're going to have to figure something out there. But, that was just part of the fun of Dayton. You could compare and see everything that you wanted right there. And I mean, one last trip through the various vendors and everything, and I said, that's the one I want. So we went ahead and pulled the trigger on that one. Now for Huntsville, we're going to finish up the satellite side of the shack, and we're going to be picking up the ICOM 9700 up in Huntsville this August.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you got that new radio. I know you've been wanting it for a long time there. And so people are asking, what did I get? What did I pick up? You know, well, man, I got some cool things, man. I mean, hey, people, I know there's a lot of people disappointed that we didn't webcast Dayton this year. We didn't give away $10,000 in prizes. But it's been a lot easier on me. It saved me about 3 more weeks of work. I'd have been working the next probably 5 to 7 days on getting the prizes out that you guys won. Plus, it's always very expensive, and I didn't get to look around. So this year, hey, the decision was made. We're going to just look around, walk around. We're not going to webcast live. We'll show some videos on the show here. We'll show some pictures. We'll have different people talk about it. So that's what we did this year. And it worked out really well. And hey, this was probably one of the cheapest years that we've ever had going up there. I think it only cost us like $1,300 total. I'm thinking, Glenn, I mean, when we would webcast, it was costing us $3,000 to $4,000 every year up there, which that was not a major problem. But, I'm just thinking, I'm just thinking about a lot of people. Would they say, okay, I can spend $1,300 and go to Dayton, or I can take that $1,300 and buy me an IC7300 and a power supply and an antenna. So I don't know.
It's kind of a matter of choice. For me, I've got so much going on. I mean, I hit the ground running, and I don't slow down until I catch the plane or drive home Sunday. And it was the same for me this trip. I mean, I got in Thursday afternoon, and I was over at the QRP Archie guys. So you could save the money and buy equipment, but I think there's a lot to be said for the social experience of meeting all of your friends. I don't know if he ran over to you. I'm sure he did, but Papa Doc was there, so got to talk with him for a little while.
I saw Papa Doc. In fact, he's in the chat room tonight. We'll say hi, Papa Doc.
Yeah, had a good time talking with him.
I saw many people. So many people came up to me. We gave a presentation in the Pico Balloon Forum. I did that on Friday. But we had so many people come and talk to us. And, maybe that's why my throat is so sore. Maybe we talked the whole time. People say, okay, so you went up there. What did you get? I'll show you what I got. I mean, I got a bunch of things. So here's what I got. I picked me up a roller inductor. Look at that. Now this is larger than it looks. That thing there probably handled about 10,000 watts, and it had a nice dial on the front that you can, count the turns and so forth. So yeah, I came back with that, and I came back with 2 other things. I came back with, look at this. I came back with some heat shrink.
You finally got your heat shrink.
I was getting low.
Good for you.
I was getting low on heat shrink, but hey, man, I've got enough now for a few more years here. Look at that. And then, hey, look. Anybody know what that is? I don't know why I bought this. My buddy bought one of these. And I said, well, if he buys one, I got to buy one. All right, so this thing is a high-power laser. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I can't shine it at airplanes. Okay.
I was going to say, turn it on, and the cat will probably go through the computer monitor.
So this thing is to keep people from misusing it. You get keys with it. You have to turn it on with a key. So let me put the key in here.
This is like kind of like the nuclear thing.
I'm going to turn it on.
They give you 2 keys?
Yeah, 2 keys. Okay, I turned it on. That's the flux capacitor charging. All right, now, so here it is right here. Now, it is bright. I tried it outside a while ago. I can see it about 2 miles away, and I just don't have anything further to aim at. But I might try to aim it at the moon one night. You're not going to see it behind me. That's a green screen behind me, and this is a green dot. So if wait, you can't see it.
Yeah, you can see it.
You can't see it back here.
Yeah,
but
it's that bright.
It's not
It almost
much.
looks like you're putting a dot.
Yeah, it's not much. Now,
video
let me put it on. Let me put it
editing.
on this microphone here.
Yeah, it almost looks like you're adding a dot through,
Yeah.
graphics rather than a
So
real dot.
there we go. I'm probably melting my microphone there. Let's now everybody out there, close your eyes. If it's aiming at the camera, close your eyes. I don't want to hurt anybody. I'll just kind of sweep it past the camera there a little bit.
Don't really even notice that the camera dims.
Let's see.
Yeah, you can see it.
I can't.
I
really-
hope it doesn't fry some pixels.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it burned it, so I think we're okay. The newer cameras, the pixels in the cameras don't burn anymore like they used to. But anyway, there it is. Got me a high-powered green laser, and the thing is, you're supposed to actually be able to see the beam, not just the dot, but also the beam. I'm not sure I see the beam in here, but maybe outside in
Maybe
dark.
outside,
Maybe I
little bit
would in
more
dark.
dust
So
and stuff.
got
Yeah.
a battery here. I mean, got a couple keys to turn it off to keep people from, kids from taking it. So, okay, well, hey, that's what I got.
Well, I had a lot of fun. I mean, I was bouncing back and forth between your booth and the ARRL booth and a couple others. And like you, I got to see a lot of my Hamfest buddies, spent a lot of time hanging around Joe Eisenberg and seeing all the cool things that he was buying and looking at and doing. Of course, was over at ARRL, of course, signing and selling my books, and I met a lot of our readers over there, and that was a lot of fun. And also got to meet with Dave Minster, the ARRL CEO, and some of the other folks as far as on the book writing side, and we kind of fleshed out some deals and whatnot. And although it's not in permanent magic marker yet, it looks like there are going to be 3 new books coming out, not just one. It's 3, literally as fast as I can put them together. And ARRL may also start with a video series to introduce the material for those books. So
you keep getting books, and you're not going to get to use that new rig.
Oh, you watch. We will find a way.
I'll give you $500 for it right now.
Not a chance.
Hey, Bruce is in the chat
radio.
room.
It belongs to the cats now.
Bruce is in the chat room, N7XGR, and he came up to me and was talking to me. The first time I think I met him in person. He's talking to me, and I'm talking to the guy, and he knows me, and I seem like I know him, but I wasn't sure who he was, and I find out it's Bruce, N7XGR there, and he didn't look like a typical Bruce. I don't know, nobody ever looks like they should look, when you meet them in person there.
Well, the one person I was hoping to see there that didn't come was Martin Zhu.
Yeah,
And,
Martin had to go to ballet.
Yeah, that's what Richard told me,
Yeah.
is that Martin was at ballet.
Martin was at
And,
ballet.
I mean, you talk about, a guy that's active. I mean, here he is at his age, and he's off doing ballet. I mean,
yeah.
the man's amazing.
Yeah. Well,
But actually, I think it was his granddaughter's ballet recital that he was at.
It was.
And more power to him. And we missed him. But that's the one thing about Dayton, though. It was close enough in terms of everything. I don't know if it. I heard on one side that it had first day attendance records, but I judge by the line at the food court, and I'm not sure. It's probably about but the crowds were there, the people were there, and it felt like Dayton. So it's just good to have all that bad stuff behind us to start moving forward with Hamfest again.
Yeah. So a couple things went on there at Hamfest. We couldn't, after the balloon forum on Friday, we couldn't launch a balloon. The weather was just terrible there, and the winds were like 30 miles an hour all the time. So we were going to try Saturday morning. It still wasn't a very good time to launch. There was a lot of storms in the area, but a lot of the guys wanted to launch anyway, and I thought, okay, this is pretty much going to be a suicide flight. But we launched anyway. So we launched one Pico balloon Saturday morning. And these are APRS balloons, so they don't have the 34-foot hanging below them like we do on our Whisper balloon. So we launched it, and it actually took off, and it missed the flagpoles and the trees and everything pretty much, and went up. So we said, okay, well, let's try to launch our Whisper balloon. Maybe it'll make it. So we about 30 minutes later, we came back out there to launch our Whisper balloon. And oh boy, man, it didn't go up hardly. You know, it hugged the ground. It drug across the concrete. It wrapped the flagpole. It stopped to get lemonade before it took off, and then it took off and went in the air. Now, okay, so that was that morning, and they said, well, you know, we were going to launch 3 in total, so let's go ahead and get the other one ready. So at noon, the clouds were looking really bad, but we launched the third one at about noontime. And we ended up, one of them is still flying. The last 2 we launched, they came down. But we're still flying right now, and it's gone to sleep now. But we made a turn at Washington, D.C., and we went down to Dom Rep in Puerto Rico. And that's the last position we had tonight. But it's doing really well. It's flying at about 42,000 feet. And, you know, we're going to see how it does. That's using a new experimental balloon that we found that is fairly inexpensive and flies very well. Hey, so a couple things. Oh, hey, for people that missed it when we first came on, here's a little excerpt from Hamvention. Listen to this. Let me see if I can cue this up here. Here we go. Listen to this, man. This happened a couple times. Here's the weather report. 5 minutes. 5-minute warning.
Now watch the skirts on these tables blowing
Attention
around,
on the grounds.
and they're indoors.
Attention on the grounds. We have a storm approaching that contains small hail and some cloud-to-ground lightning. There is a storm approaching with small hail and cloud-to-ground lightning that should make the grounds within the next 5 to 10 minutes.
All right. So, yeah. Hey, it was cool inside there. We had a breeze through the building at that time.
Yeah, that was a real nice breeze for that little bit of time. Now, in all fairness, that was like at about 3 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, that one was Saturday.
It did rain a little bit Friday morning, but not super bad. And the rest of the weekend, it rained in the evenings after the Hamfest had closed for the day. And, you know, the next day it was bright and sunny up until 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. So it was not horrible weather the whole trip. In fact, it was rather the opposite. It was bright and sunny for a large percentage of the time. It was good. Typical Dayton weekend.
Well, and you know, the thing about it too is I saw a comment about masks in the chat room. Almost nobody was wearing a mask. I mean, the country has now, I think we're back to living life again. I don't think things are as contagious or as bad as they used to be. Guys, we're going to have to start treating some of this stuff like the flu, you know, or you know, chicken pox or whatever. I mean, you know, hey, you're going to get something someday, but, you know, you got to go on with your life. And, hey, it was really nice to not be able to have to wear the mask all the time. And I saw very few people. Man, it may have been, I don't even know if 1 in 100 were wearing a mask.
I'd say it's a little higher than that. I would say it was probably 1 in 10.
No, man.
Now at the airport, it was probably 10 to 20% wearing masks. Yeah.
Well, hey, we took the helmet cam. It was in there in our booth. We put it in a glass trophy case. A lot of people came by and looked at it there. And we did see, let's see, what else we got going here? Hey, here, we'll look at a couple pictures here I've got.
Did you have a chance to edit up that interview that we did?
I've got it here, but it's really long.
Okay.
It's in a video of a lot of other things. but we do have it, and we can run that one night here. Let's see what we got here. Hey guys, look! Hey, there was my first novice receiver right there. Look at that! I should have bought that thing. I love that receiver. That one is really in good condition right there.
It's a Helicrafter's.
That's a Helicrafter's SX140. And if you notice, the bands are full ham bands. That's 80 across the top, 3.5 to 4. You know, in a lot of radios, your ham band's about 1/4 of an inch long. But on that radio there, each of those spans across was a ham band. And that even had 6 meters on it right there, which I used back in the early 60s. So yeah, I got me another roller inductor. It'll handle probably 5,000 or 10,000 watts. It's pretty big. You can't really tell how big it is there.
So now you got to build yourself a new amp.
No, I've got an amp that I can use on it. So I like playing with antenna tuners and stuff, and we'll have some fun with it there. Let's see. Let's go to some pictures real quick. Tell you what, let's do. Let's open the phone lines, and I will continue, guys. Let's officially go to the after the show. Let's do that. Okay. Hey, Amateur Radio Roundtable is over with, and hey, we're now in the after the show. This is a really informal part here, and what we're going to do, we're going to invite anybody and everybody who wants to come in and join us on Zoom can come into the show here and join us. So let me get the Zoom link, and I will post it here for everybody. We're not going to open the phone lines tonight, but I could, but we're not going to do that. We're running a little late tonight. All right, here we go. There's the here's a Zoom link. If you guys want to join us, click on that and join us. And we're going to continue with some of the. We're going to continue with just some pictures that have been provided here, and these pictures are provided to us by Logan Rickard, and he posted links to them. They're all, I guess, licenses, common license where you can share these if you like. But just a lot of different things going on there. I mean, hey, look at this guy here. He's learning, I think, how to solder and build stuff. That's kind of cool. And jump in here, Glenn, anytime you want to, if there's anything. Hey, here's what's her name? Is it Kristen? I forget the name. She is in our group here, and she always puts her hair up in an antenna tower, and she actually transmits on 2 meters, I think, from her.
I was going to say, those are actually 2-meter elements up on the tower.
Yeah, from her hair tower, she does transmit there. So that's kind of cool there. Let's see. Hey, this is outside the ice cream place right here. I think that's right near the ice cream place, isn't it? Yeah. That's got the old hit and miss.
That hit and miss engine the guy that has
hit and miss engine
thing.
running there. Yeah.
That is just cool as can be.
A lot of people were really trying to eat the ice cream up here. I don't know where this is. Looks like it's in a car or a van or something. I don't know. I didn't do these pictures, so I'm not sure what they all are. There's a Go box. Looks like he's got a HF rig and a couple VHF, UHF rigs in a Go box. Pretty nice setup in the van there.
Yeah.
That's probably maybe that's the Salvation. I don't know if that's Salvation Army or not. If it is,
they've Salvation Army there.
They got a pretty good setup if it is, And now we're out in the flea market there. I'm not sure what all that is.
Yeah, the flea market had a lot of stuff, just nothing that I had to have this year.
Yeah, same with me.
A lot of good stuff. I enjoyed looking through it all, but I think I bought a handful of piece parts, and that's about it out there.
Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of people in these pictures. I do not know who they are, and maybe some of these people in the chat room know who they are. So Guys, if you see somebody in here that you know, throw their name out there.
Yeah, and Tony's talking about the food. The food, I went with some different stuff this year, and the food was fabulous this year. I really enjoyed the food court out there this year.
Yeah, yeah. So hey, here's one of the forum rooms right here. They had 3 different forum rooms. We had a good turnout in the Pico Balloon forum room. More people at one of the forums. Not sure who they are. There's Josh. Everybody might know Josh here. He was there. We got to see Josh for a minute, but he was so busy, and we were busy talking to people. We hardly had time to spend any time with each other.
Yeah, I ran into Jason a couple times.
Jason was had a table next to us here.
And
again,
of course, Ron, K9 ID, and the Gold Medal Ideas place. Let me tell you what, the hats and shirts and everything we're selling. Ron was busy the entire weekend.
Yeah, oh yeah, he said they did some great business here. You know, hey, the Hamfest provided transportation. If you bought a boat anchor, you could throw it on there and it'd drive you to the car, I think. So that was pretty neat, too,
yeah.
You know. I think this is the gate.
Jill was
this
running
is the gate.
one of those carts.
This is the gate. When they opened it up, people started coming in here.
It was phenomenal. I didn't have one of the early entry badges like you. I'm not that important. But they literally had the line out back to where the buses dropped you off and looped back around. There were that many people waiting to get in the gate.
I may have a picture of that here somewhere. I know I took a picture of that. It was really, really long. Some of the old boat anchors out there. I love looking at these old radios.
You know, there's some beautiful ones out there.
I don't know who that is.
One of the gentlemen at the QRP Archie event over in Fairborn, they have a homebrew night, and he had actually taken a World War II spy radio and built his own from scratch and, you know, duplicated the thing. And you are talking an absolute work of art. It looked like they had just opened the box in 1940, whatever, on that thing.
There we go. We got some, there's a Dentron tuner, and looks like
MFJ tuner there in the bottom.
I mean, amp over there. Yeah.
Dummy load.
Yeah, cool.
Maritron amp, yeah.
Not sure what it looks like. Maybe handy talkies. You find handy talkies anywhere. I don't know which receiver that is, but hey, that's the old receiver. But I like it.
Yeah.
I like that one. So you can see right there, it's not muddy. That's either before or after one of the rains, and
that's about as worse as it got. You could see, you know, some bare spots and some spots that had wheel ruts in them, but not very much. And the ground was solid.
If you had grass under you, you were in pretty good shape because it wasn't rutted up. Now, if you walked much on the racetrack, that was a little dirty, but it wasn't muddy. So
no, it wasn't wet. It was just sand.
Hey, I like this. This is a Heathkit 6-meter amp. I don't even remember them making that, but it's a 6-meter kilowatt amplifier. There's a nice looking amp. I see the blower motor on the side there.
Yeah, there's a Drake right next to it.
Yep, Drake there.
A lot of Drake gear there this year.
Yeah. Again, it was hot out there. You know, these guys brought their tent tops, and that helped because it was hot. It was a scorcher out there.
Yeah, it got to the point that, you know, it was rather warm. And, of course, you know, once that storm came through Saturday, Sunday morning was almost jacket weather.
Yeah, it was hot Saturday evening. It was hot there. And then at 5 o'clock, that storm came through, and it dropped about 20 degrees just really fast. It felt even cool.
Yeah, and Tony in the chat room saying that, you know, Dave Kassler was there. He was over with me at the ARRL booth. He now writes the replacement column for The Doctor Is In QST.
I think Tony is joining us there.
Yeah.
There we go. Got a bird watt meter, So there was I took some
A
pictures.
lot of birds.
Guy had a lot of birds and a lot of the what do you call it? The
V&As?
The slot, not the thing that goes in the slot. What do you call it? The
Oh, the
slugs.
slugs.
There was a guy that had a lot of. He must have had hundreds of slugs. Yeah. There we go. I forget his name. He's one of the officers there at DARA. If you really can't make it out, but he has a tower on top of his helmet, and it's got a little crank there, and his tower will actually go up and down, and he can actually rotate the antenna up there. He's got a beam on top of it. Don't know who they are. Don't know. Not sure. What do we got
That may
here?
have been the laser and the maker folks that they had over there, Laser Works or something like that.
Yeah, every now and then you can catch some good deals out there. This is some of the classic keys and stuff, old keys, collectibles and stuff.
Yeah, Brett, there were quite a few IC 735s out there. I didn't see any of them that had the little plastic front piece over the equalizer, but there was, a number of 735s out there this weekend.
Well, there you go. Let's take it. We got one mass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One out of 5. You may be right, Glenn. All right.
Well, it was pretty much almost an age thing. The younger folks in general would not wear masks, but once you got up near my age and your age, I would say it was easily 1 in 10.
Yeah. Looks like this is where the building, maybe a kit building right here. That's probably one
Yeah,
of the
that's
kits.
over in the youth building.
Yep. Yeah.
They would have a whole lot of youth projects and events.
So I wonder if it's work. I see you're putting the earphone up there. I wonder if you're getting anything. One of our co-hosts here, when he can make it, Martin Jew, professor, engineer, owner of all these companies. He built a crystal set when he was young, and he said he could never get it to work. I think he used the wrong razor blade back then, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, you had to use those blued razor blades.
Yeah. It was a double-edged blue blade.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Tower Electronics outside. They also had a booth inside. Don't know.
Oh, to me, the whole weekend was a blur, and I would recognize the folks.
Yeah.
But, 10 minutes later, I'd already forgotten them. Like I say, Papa Doc's one of the very few that I totally remember through the whole weekend.
Yeah. Well, there's outside
It just
kind of
shows how memorable
that's
he
outside
can
in the courtyard where all the food is out there, and you can see it was starting to get a little activity out there. Weather looked pretty nice then.
Yeah, I had the Philly cheesesteak on Friday, and it was quite good.
Looks like somebody got him a mast or something here. Don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an area out there where they had various bands and things set up. What in the world is that? Did y'all hear that? Did you hear that?
I heard it. I don't know. Could it have been lightning outside?
I don't know.
That you were hearing the arc?
I don't know, man.
'Cause,
Anyway. All right.
storms are supposed to be going through tonight.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's before a forum. Not too many people there. Again, outside picture on the you can see the wind was always flopping those flags.
But in the heat of the sun, that breeze felt really, really good.
Yeah.
It was only when the storm really got close that the winds picked up and it started feeling bad. But I tell you, DX Engineering had a huge.
They did. Here's
setup.
a picture of DX Engineering here. They had 1/4 of that whole room down there, and they had nice carpet down, I think, and they had so many cash registers lined up. You notice that?
Oh yeah, and they were busy all the time.
They were taking in the orders, man. They were taking in the orders.
Oh, there is no doubt.
Well, one thing about it, if you needed coax, just about everybody brought coax.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there was pretty much everything you could possibly want, unless you're a little eccentric like me. And I even had stuff. I mean, I had 17 pounds of weight allowance left in the suitcase, and I did manage to find 7 pounds of stuff. So, I bought several books. Of course, I had to get my book signed, so got Ward Silver to sign the grounding and bonding book for me, and met up a whole bunch of fun folks over there. And the one thing I noticed throughout the whole weekend, though, is that everybody had a smile on their face. It was very happy and very positive weekend in spite of the weather and everything.
Here's a Vibraplex. I've got a Vibraplex like one of those down here on the bottom row.
Papa Doc is mentioning someone fractured an ankle. Yes, one of the ladies in Tower Electronics slipped, I believe, and she's going to be okay. But yeah, she slipped and fell, and
Well, there were a few accidents. Our friend James Lee, his daughter was pushing him in a wheelchair, and they went through a door, and it had a notched out place at the door, and she dumped him. Now, he's had both legs amputated.
Oh, I did not know that.
You didn't know that? He's had both legs amputated.
Oh, yeah, I talked to him for a good time.
So he gets dumped out on the concrete out there. They had to get the EMT to help get him up. He thought he had broke a leg out there, but... So there was a few people that tripped or fell or got hurt.
I've got a James made it the whole weekend. It was really good to see him there. He was in really good spirits.
Yep.
I talked to him for probably a half hour.
Yeah.
And got the whole story. And it's amazing the man is here with us. But he was really upbeat and positive, and it was just so good to see him there.
Oh yeah, well, it was a miracle. He was on life support in a coma for over a month. Hey, here's R&L Electronics. They're from just south of.
Yeah, the R&L girls were there this year.
There we go. Yaesu rotor controller. Yeah, there's Yaesu there. I picked me up a Yaesu hat.
I did too.
Yeah, I got me a hat.
And it was, good old Yaesu. I mean, I love their area.
Hey, if we look close, we might find your radio here in a minute.
You might find my radio, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that looked like the 991 there. Nope, you skipped right on past my radio.
No, I didn't skip it yet, I don't think.
Well, what I didn't realize until the Orlando Ham Fest is that the FT101 series has actually got a video monitor port on the back of the rig.
Yeah.
For an external display. And I was just...
Well, I was telling
the deal for me in Orlando.
I was telling people in the chat room that was asking about the 7610 I've got. You can put a monitor on the back of it. The 7300 you cannot, but the 7610 you can. Here's a group here that actually made front
they had
plates
front panels for the alpha linears.
For the alpha amplifiers right there. They didn't have my alpha 86, but there's nothing wrong with my panels, so I didn't need one. But
Tentec was there, and they had some good stuff. So that was, the revitalized Tentec. So that was kind of cool to see them.
Those look like tuners, antenna tuners.
LDG, yeah.
Gigaparts.
Yep. Yeah, I bought me an LDG tuner for this thing as well.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yes,
cool.
sir.
What is this? Water. This is a Yaesu rig. This is not yours, is it?
No, that may just be the standard 101. It doesn't have the monitor.
Okay. All right. Well,
that's the 101D.
Okay. I tell you, that looks like a lot of radio right there. That's the 101.
Yes,
no. Is that similar to yours?
I believe that's the 10. That may be the 101 MP. Yeah. Yeah, there's a monitor on top. That is the MP.
All right.
And I've got the speaker coming tomorrow for it.
Oh, you went all out, man. You get the speaker and everything, didn't you?
Just about what I got.
Yeah.
Well, I bought the 101 MP Max kit from Gigaparts, and I mean that's everything you see there except the monitor, and it's got all the filters and bells and whistles inside. It's got every option you can get for that rig.
Yeah. Soldering irons, if you need a soldering station.
Oh, that guy has that tent there every year, and I probably spend more money in that tent
Really?
than I do in the rest of the Ham Fest.
Oh, look at there, man. Look at there. There's the trophy
That was
case
so
there.
cool to see that hat there in the case.
20 years ago, we broke the helmet cam out and started webcasting hamvention. I'm not sure. This must be, this is the embroidery. This must be gold medal right here.
Yep.
ICOM 705. Not sure what that is. Maybe a repeater.
Yeah, looks like a repeater.
There's your 9700.
There's my 9700. Yes, sir.
So you're going to get you a 9700, huh, for
I'm
satellite?
going to be getting it at Huntsville this August, yes.
You don't have a radio now that'll do satellite?
No, I do not. I sold my 847 up at
Okay.
Collinsville, Illinois around the turn of the year in preparation to buy that thing right there.
Okay, that's cool. Well, I've got a TS2000 that will do the satellite, but my rotors are stuck. I got to get my rotors down. That's some mounts, I guess, for your mobile if you want to mount your radios.
Yeah. One thing I noticed in that a lot of the booths now is that they're laying out the carpet squares and full-size carpets out in the walkthrough area,
Oh, yeah?
which makes it very comfortable. I mean, DX Engineering had done it, and Yaesu, of course, had done it. And I think ICOM did it as well.
There's
But
here. This is Flex. You know, I'm thinking about it. Do I need to get me a Flex? What is there any real advantage? I'm afraid that I might have a radio that gets a computer virus or something.
Well,
You
just
know?
about. I have heard from Flex owners that it is, God's gift to radio.
Well,
I'm
I
sorry,
hear that.
I'm a Yaesu guy. The
Yeah.
look and feel of the MP and the Yaesu 101s and the FT10, the 991, that's my kind of radio. But the Flex people, they're kind of like the Apple versus PC people of the day. And it is the Apple, and people will fight you and kill you over their Flex.
well, here's everybody trying out the Bengali keys. Everybody was just sitting at CW like crazy. They usually always donated a prize for our hamvention.
Bengali, wonderful keys.
They donated a prize for our hamvention, but we did not do it this year. So maybe next year. I think this is. I'm not sure where this is. This
Probably the ARRL lab
I was going to say
table.
this is at probably the ARRL lab right here.
Yeah, they had the full ARRL lab gang there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was across the way at the training education table.
Back outside, each of the buildings had names like Hertz Building, Maximum Hall, and so forth. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I love the way they've named each
Uh-oh.
of the buildings.
Oh, who that?
That guy shows up at every Ham Fest, and we just can't seem to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Normally, we keep him locked down at one table.
That's
though,
right.
So, he
You
kind of
must say micro ATV. Maybe I ought to get an ATV again. I tried some ATV 50.
Fun.
I tried some 50 years ago, but I'm just afraid there's nobody around here I can send a
Yeah,
picture
there's
to.
not a whole lot of folks around here.
Yeah. Yeah, we must be at MFJ right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. They got a lot of neat stuff.
Yep. I love their setup. They have just tons of good stuff. Yeah, and I miss seeing that easy rotor control, but that's the problem with Dayton, is I may see something and it doesn't register until I see it later and say, oh, somehow I didn't see that.
Yeah.
You know, I did have time to see everything this year. As a matter of fact, on Saturday, I just kind of chilled out for the last hour or two at the ARRL booth. And because it's like, okay, I'm done.
All right. Hey, in the chat room, Bruce is talking about an Etzel, you know, the car, the Etzel,
Yeah.
being a great car. Let me tell you something. I remember in 1959 or 58, we went to Memphis, and my dad bought a brand new Etzel. It was a cool car, man. And he had it for many, many years until he passed away. I remember coming back one time from Florida. Something was wrong with the carburetor, and the car would not run less than 70 miles an hour. And we got stopped. And we told the cop that it won't run less than 70, but he didn't buy that. He took us and 3 other cars to some little trailer out in the country. We had to pay a justice of the peace right there on the spot, man.
Wow.
Isn't it terrible? I think we're back at DX Engineering here.
Yeah, there's back at DX Engineering.
Not sure what. These signs are cool. These plexiglass
Yeah, they have
signs.
some very, very nice
they're really
sign
nice.
makers there.
Yeah. DX Engineering. Not sure what we're looking at. Some kind of homebrew something here. I think this was probably Quicksilver. He
Yeah,
always
it's-
has the neatest little gadgets and stuff,
Oh
man.
gosh, I could buy everything on their table.
Yeah, yeah. Those little voltage reading.
Those little voltage and current meters,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
just really nice.
Back outside again. People are sitting around. You know, we'd go walking down. We'd go walking down to the flea market way down in the racetrack, and after I got to the end and came back, I had to come in and rest. I was tired.
Yeah. That flea market, I don't think it's as big as Hera, but it's getting very, very close.
It's spread out, though.
And it's spread out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that you need to walk it early in the first day, or by the time you get around to it, about half the folks are gone. But also, you're just too darn tired. You walk about 2 aisles and you say, never mind.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of my things is I do my best to get out there as quickly as I can.
So just various equipment. National Weather Service there.
You know, but every one of those buildings was chock full of booths and people.
Yeah.
You know, somebody
There's
mentioned
Mark.
the
I don't know if Mark's in here or not. Let's see. In 4. Let's see if Mark's
I
in
don't
here.
think I don't think Mark's in here this evening.
Look at there. Mark missed it tonight. He's featured in a show and he missed it tonight. Mark is the Mark's the general chairman for the Huntsville Ham Fest. That will be a great ham fest that's coming up in August.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
we will be webcasting that. We're going to go down there. We've got reservations. We will be webcasting the Huntsville Ham Fest, and we'll be giving away prizes. to
I
everybody.
highly recommend that you find some way of recording my seminar at Huntsville. It will be an all-new forum. The
Yep.
title of it right now is Arduino, the Next Generation, and it's not going to be like anything I've ever done in the past.
Yeah. Brett says he might be there, so that's good, Brett. Come on down.
You know, and so I'm already committed for Huntsville and Orlando and a couple other places and things. But Huntsville's where I'm doing my brand new forum for the first time. I might even have a few goodies to give away.
That's good.
Yeah, I like what Brett said. An arduous Arduino ordeal. Or ordeal.
Even had a first aid station out there this year.
Yeah.
Look at that, man.
Well, you know, it's funny. You know, I've never really thought about bringing sunscreen to Dayton because
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever been sunny enough.
Well,
to avoid
hey,
it.
well, yeah, I've
But
been
this
here where you
year,
needed
it was
it.
a very close
Yeah.
event. Actually, John, in the chat room there, you're getting a little too warm for comfort. Let's just say that I'm going extremely non-traditional on the Arduinos this year. But yeah, Tapper was there. Just all sorts of good folks were there. I think the one big one, Kenwood wasn't there, and somebody else said Apache Labs and a few others. But the
Yeah.
only one I actually noticed wasn't there was the Kenwood folks.
A lot of eating outside. Kind of gives you the feeling of a fair, a state fair kind of. All they need to do is bring a Ferris wheel in and have it, running.
Well, yeah, but that's what that's what all the food
Yeah,
places are for, is for the county fair.
yeah. It looks like 4-H Club.
But there was a place there that sold frozen sweet tea,
Oh, yeah?
and they were selling those things as fast as they can hand them out the window.
I was going to say, I see a line of people out there. I don't know if that's the line coming in or not. There's Civil Air Patrol.
Yeah.
So we had a CAP booth up there. I saw some of the cadets there. There we go. Got a nice little booth out there. United States Air Force. That's the Visitors Bureau. There's Michael Coulter. Michael's the treasurer, the guy with the white beard. He's the treasurer of the DERA Club, and also he's the official spokesperson for hamvention. There's one of the forums. Look here, man. Sirloin chip sandwich.
Yeah, I didn't get over there. I went for the Philly cheesesteak instead.
Making me a little hungry right now.
Oh, man, yeah.
The bourbon
that's the
chicken.
one-
Bourbon chicken might be pretty good, man.
That's the one huge improvement over Hera is the food.
Yeah.
The food's phenomenal there at Xenia. I mean, it's typical fair food, but it's quite good.
Yeah, back inside, DX Engineering. Not sure what that is. World Radio Sport Team Championship. Ellicraft.
Yep. On HRO and the gang. Missed seeing Katie and Dwayne there this year.
Yeah.
They said hopefully maybe next year.
Alpha amps. Alpha's got a beautiful amp too, man.
Yes.
The new modern ones do a lot of stuff. Mine is manual tune, but it's still got some nice stuff built in it. But this would be nice. Maybe I need to upgrade to Alpha 9500.
Pretty looking amp.
Mm-hmm.
That's the gentleman that is taking
Tech,
over
yeah.
Tech. Oh, and that radio that Gary built for the QRP Archie was the Paraset, Paraset.
Okay.
Y'all want to look that up. It's a World War II spy radio. And I tell you, it was a spitting image of the real one.
Here you go, Glenn.
Yes, those are my FaceDoc folks. They showed up. They had a wonderful ham fest and sold a lot of their prototyping systems there. We did an interview with them, and hopefully Tom will get that edited up and we can show that next week or so.
Yeah, we can do that. We got a nice video where they talk about this.
And it's one of the very few interviews that I do. So
Yeah,
Tom
you
didn't do this one.
get to hear Glenn do an interview there.
You get to hear me do an interview, which is a rare thing.
All right. Well, we're walking around right now inside.
Yep, there's the AMSAT gang.
Yeah, we're walking around. There's plenty to walk around and see and get your feet sore, that's for sure.
Well, and that's the thing is, people talk about people didn't go, but looked like to me there were no empty tables or booths or anything like that. Everything was full.
I noticed out in the flea market there were a lot of empty spaces. Now,
But
that could be that could be that the new thing here, new venue may have more space, and they could have more spaces. Used to, if you didn't have a flea market space, you couldn't get one the next year. They were all sold out,
I think the flea market was down a little bit, but it's up from what it's been in the past. I think when they moved to Xenia, it's always been a little down compared to Hera. And it's been slowly getting better. I would say that this was the best flea market that they've ever done, but it's still down from the heyday of Hera.
I'm trying to get to the end of these real quick here.
What was nice, the Radio Society of Great Britain folks had a lot of books there, and one of the books they had was the FT DX 101 book. So there is now a really nice thick book on my new radio I get to read.
There's my friend Ed that went with us. That was our booth there. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get to the end of this, and may never get to the end of it. It's kind of like being there, right?
Yeah, you took a lot more pictures than you thought you did.
There is no end there. There is no end.
There we go. No, go back. That was the 101 MP with the display.
Right there?
No, it's about 4 or 5 slides back. That one.
Okay.
That's the child I bought, and
All right.
if you look on the edge of the little red table or the little tablecloth there, that's where I had to wipe all the drool off.
Yeah. Well, anything ham related, you can definitely find it there this year.
Oh yeah. The only thing that was a little light was the Arduino type stuff, and individual chips in general.
Yeah.
But everything else was there.
All right. That's probably enough. That's enough.
It's never enough. That was the one thing about Dayton, and in particular this year, is the time just literally flew. I mean, I got there, Thursday afternoon, and next thing I know, I'm sitting at the airport Sunday morning flying home, and I'm like, those were the fastest 4 days of my life. I mean, it just literally flew right by.
Yeah. Well, let's see who we got in. Hey, let's see if we still have. Did everybody leave the Zoom here? Is Tony still up there?
Yeah, we got Bill. Bill's still there.
Bill's in there. Everybody else is gone, I guess.
Look, Bill, you got her to wake up because she knew you were going to talk.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let me check the.
I'm glad Rodan is there.
So
Normally she's hiding.
Gordon was there. Gordon West was there.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of Gordon when he was trying out for the helmet camp 20 years ago, but he didn't make the cut. I had to turn him down. It was something I didn't like. I don't know what it was, but he did okay.
Just not the right personality.
He wasn't the right personality for it, Oh man. Well, we got what time is it? Let's see. We got about 10 minutes left here.
10 minutes.
Well, Glenn, you say you want to come over and pick your stuff up and do some soldering this weekend?
Yeah, and we can probably do a nice little video of the surface mount this weekend.
Yeah. See, my trouble, and I mean, Kathy would do it. I hate bothering her. I need somebody that's interested in helping out here that could help, film and, record stuff as we do it. So you're going to have to start swinging by here on the way home from work. It's on your way.
Sort of is.
I
I take the 240
do you?
South Loop to 55, but I could swing another way.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
well, like I say, though, my problem is I've got 3 books that need to be cranked out as fast as I can put them together. Yeah, Brett, Tom needs a producer. Come on down.
Yeah. Man. What is this right here? Oh, that's more pictures.
Yeah. That lemonade stand, I believe, was also the one that had the frozen iced tea, or the one right next to him had it. And
I think that lemonade stand is the one where the tracker, as we launched it stopped for lemonade. Yeah.
Well, hey, man, the ants need to drink too.
That's true. They needed to.
And so it's like I say, the whole Hamfest felt really good this year. Everybody was upbeat. It was so good to see everybody that we haven't seen in the past couple years. And Joe Eisenberg released his video of the Hamfest today, and one of the songs he used was "Staying Alive," which a little bit morbid, but so very true. As we were meeting up with friends to see who is still left with us.
Well, guys, this was our 40th hamvention to go to. There we are, and maybe some earlier days there. I think I saw that same radio there on somebody else's table for sale.
Oh yeah, I mean I think that was part of the fun of the flea market, is you go out there to see what tables the gear has moved to.
Yeah.
Because it's on the same tables or the same stuff every year. It's just on a different table. Bill, you going to go there next year?
Good Lord, willing the creek don't rise.
Man, we missed you this year.
Well, I had a bunch of stuff. Okay, a lot of things. I had a family member pass away on Sunday last week, and there was other things, and the house is in probate, and my lawyer's calling me every other day because they put the thing in the newspaper, and we got people calling. They want to buy the house. I don't know.
I know. Yeah, I'm so thankful that I flew this year instead of drive. I mean, like Tom's saying, he got home and he's just absolutely exhausted.
Yep.
And you got home before me. I didn't get home until like 7:00.
Yep.
Sunday night, and you left after I did.
Oh,
but all I had to do was sit at airports and relax.
I'm a Wednesday to Monday type individual because the IOOK has a send-off breakfast, okay,
Oh, wow.
On Monday morning, okay, and I normally make my flight somewhere between 12:30 and 1 o'clock so that I have enough time to drive back to Miller Lane, fill the car with gas, and then zip up to the airport and take off.
I ended up flying out right around at noon on Sunday. And I had like a 3-hour layover in Atlanta. But it felt good because I got home and I wasn't as exhausted as I had been after doing that 10-hour drive. Yeah, that's, I'm probably going to start driving again, next year or the year after. This year was kind of a one-off, I'm hoping, because the drive is actually, enjoyable too. I love it when Tom streams the drive up, and then I generally follow him the next day, and I've already seen the stuff that he passed the day before.
Oh, Tom, did Max show up there?
I don't think Max went.
Oh, I was just curious.
I did have personally one big highlight of the show. I get up there, what was it, Saturday morning to meet and sign books and stuff. And I go up to the folks at the book table and they're like, "We sold out of all your books." And I'm like, no, wait a minute. And the day before, Jackie Ferreira there had told me that, she had another box of my books and didn't know where it was. And so I'm thinking maybe there's one box left in reserve. And so went over to see her, and she was able to find that box of books. And it was literally, they said they had brought 3 times the number of my books as compared to any other books on the bookstore. And by Sunday morning, it looked like they were going to be selling out. When I left there Saturday night, they were in a position to sell the books out again. So that was just kind of that's a personal thing that I enjoy seeing. Well, it's about time he got here.
Yeah.
He got in
Late,
just enough
but,
to say goodbye.
Right on time.
I'm going to give him a
Yeah.
demerit.
Hello, Bill. Goodbye, Bill.
Yeah, he came in. He's got 3 minutes left to catch up here.
You're muted, Bill.
Yeah, just wanted to say congratulations on launching one of the balloons from the hamvention that made it all the way to Haiti today. So, and Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Well, it was right out. That was the first one we launched. It got right out kind of in front of that weather, and I guess it stayed out there.
The other two looks like they got hit by storms. So.
Yep. I think so.
But it's doing great. I'm in Ohio. I'm in Findlay, Ohio.
Yeah, it was good to see you there Friday.
Yeah. It was sure hot though in the building.
Yeah, it's a little stuffy.
Well, Saturday we brought the fan out. I took a fan up here.
But if you notice, Sunday morning when I was going into the airport, it was almost cold, and I almost put a jacket on.
It's been cold up here ever since I've got up to Findlay. It's just I've had to wear a jacket all day. It's breezy and cold.
Yeah, it was actually colder down here today than it was up at Dayton.
All right, hey, let me just make a quick announcement. We're coming close to the end of our shortwave segment here. Thanks to everybody that tuned in tonight, or today. It's Thursday, if you tuned in on shortwave. You can join our show. You can join our show on Tuesdays. We're live video show on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time by going to w5kub.com. The show's about ham radio, shortwave listening, electronics. We're glad we have you. Send us an email to Tom at w5kub.com. Let us know where in the world you are. And for the last few people that are still hanging in there, if you hadn't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right there. I'm pointing at it. Hit that subscribe button. That will help us out a whole lot. And also join our Facebook group. We've got 13,000 hams. It's growing every day. It's called W5KUB. So just do a search for W5KUB in Facebook, and it'll bring up this ham radio group. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
7-3.
Hey, my video looks pretty good from this hotel. I think I should get online from this hotel every time.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, just run a remote base or something.
Yeah.
I'm using my own hotspot instead of the hotel Wi-Fi, though.
Yeah, I was going to say the video actually looks pretty good. The lighting's good. You're no longer, looking like you're down in a dungeon.
Yeah. It's real good.
I'll have to set things up like they have in this hotel with the lighting. It actually works out pretty good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
I've been going through my dad's house and barn one last time before they
Oh my.
knock it to the ground. And I'll be heading back to Alabama. But I'll be up here till probably Saturday or Sunday. But Tom, that Yokohama is working well.
It'll definitely fly high.
It's going higher than an SBS.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, that's 13 grams with helium, and it's 42,000 feet. That's pretty good.
Well, I was sure hoping to compare our hydrogen balloon we launched Saturday, with the other two, but unfortunately, I think it got up around 42 before it started coming down.
You actually went up to about 43 or 44.
Oh, did it?
Actually. Yeah.
Well, it's lighter and it had the hydrogen. I'm going to start tomorrow building the new little board that we've got. It's even lighter than the board I've been building there, so I'm trying to think of a way to even cut some more weight off. I might get the entire tracker with the solar panels and everything down to like 6 grams. Right now we're about 7.8.
And thanks for launching the balloon with Tom and Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was pretty tied up over there at the Dayton Arena, the UD Dayton Arena for my. I was in graduation when you guys launched that. They had 440 students, and it took a long time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then we had pounding rain that afternoon, so the early birds got for some reason yours lagged behind the APRS one. I don't know whether it was going up slower.
No, well, see, I wasn't going to launch. So we launched the APRS one, and it went almost straight up. I'm thinking, and with the wind like terrible out there, and it went almost straight up, and I think, okay, so it's got 7.5 grams. We got 7.5 grams. Let's go ahead and try it. So I had to go out to the truck. We went out and got it. Came back. We launched like 20 minutes later.
Oh. Okay.
About 20 minutes later, we launched that bill, and the tracker drug across the concrete, and it hooked the concrete that went around the flagpoles, and then it wrapped the flagpole, and it took off a little, and it landed at the lemonade stand. It got some lemonade, and then it took off and went over the building. So, yeah, so we were a little delayed in getting that one off, but I was sure wanting to compare that. Equal balloons.
For some reason, mine the APRS one ended up way ahead of yours, and that's when the storms were creeping in. Now that one launched in the afternoon, there was a gigantic, super severe storm that popped right up in the middle of that one. It clobbered that one.
Yeah, I mean, we looked it on the radar. It was red and yellow just all around it, man. It was.
And you can see the solar panel voltage started to drop. The altitude leveled off at 21,000 feet, and the voltage was going down. I says, that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I looked at the radar and says, oh, it's definitely not good.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they even made it off the ground the way the whole weather was this weekend with the wind and the rain and just the humidity and everything.
We wouldn't have made it on Friday. Friday was twice the winds than Saturday.
Yeah. Well, if I can get...
I'm not sure if yours got... You actually came down near the very first oil well in Oil City, Pennsylvania. That's Titus. I think it's Titusville. Yeah. Anyways, you're pretty close to where the very first oil well was dug. So, but yours went up to peak altitude. Yeah. So I don't know whether
I thought it
had something going on.
I thought it probably had a leak. We were about every 10 minutes. About every 10 minutes, we were losing about 2,000 feet.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think yours was more of a leak than a severe thunderstorm.
Yeah, probably.
But the other one, boy, it definitely got whammed.
Yeah, it did.
Bill, did you hear what happened to me Sunday at the Hamfest?
No.
Yeah, I was over in the Gigaparks booth looking around, and apparently I lost all the cash I had brought. And I got home today, and there was this box in my driveway. I know it happened while I was looking at their online catalog, and I must have hit buy it now instead of like. Because there was an FT101 MP that showed up in my driveway today.
Oh, did you get one?
Yeah.
You went and got one.
I had to. I've told everybody I lost a big pile of money, and I know exactly where it happened. And everybody's like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's right there."
Yeah. Well,
I unboxed it. Guess who claimed it as theirs?
Oh yeah.
so Bill, I spent a lot of money. I bought I bought some heat shrink.
Hey, there you go.
There, and I bought me a inductor. It's larger than it looks.
Well, you showed me that.
Did you see that? I'll build me a little tuner out of that. And then I bought a. Hey, look at this, man! I bought a high power laser, man, and it comes with a key. You have to turn it on with a key.
Is that a green laser? Or
Yeah, this is a green. You have to put the key in there and turn the key on. When you
Don't
turn
point
it
at
on.
your eye.
This is
Okay,
the
it's
way
coming
that you
on.
can bring
It's coming on.
your balloons down, or
let's
bring
see.
your competitors' balloons down.
Right.
It'll arc weld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a green laser, and man, I don't know. I shine it down. I can shine it. I can see it like 2 miles down the street. I don't have anything further to shine it on. I might try it on the moon later. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah, do some moon bounce with the laser.
What was that?
It'll blind airline pilots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
I can't. I can't really aim it up.
Looking for you.
I really can't aim it up in the sky at airplanes for sure.
Yeah, but you can
one
try
of the-
some moon bounce with it.
The green lasers, a friend of mine made a weapon, a personal protective weapon for special forces and things using the green laser and he made it the size of a ink pen.
Yeah.
So you just put it in your pocket, and it would temporarily blind somebody, but not permanently. At that particular frequency, it was eye safe. It was like being snow blind.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if you were to walk out in this white snow on a bright sunny day from a dark room, that's the kind of effect it had.
Well.
And so we went through airport security, and the security agent is playing with his pen and started to turn it on, and didn't notice the green beam on it, and actually pointed it at his head, and you could see a green dot in the security agent's forehead.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! If he pointed at his eye, my friend would have been locked away for months.
I was told that you can even see the
Turned it
beam.
off,
I was told.
Put it back and gave it back to the guy.
I was told you can see the beam. I can't see the beam in the house here. Maybe outside the dark, you might can see the beam.
You can see it wherever it's pointed on.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, you can see the dot, but not the beam.
Right.
They talk like you can see the actual beam itself, but.
Well, if you have some humidity and dust in the air.
So it's got a little. It's got a little filter thing that will screw on the end here, and it's kind of like a, what do you call it, kaleidoscope or whatever. I mean, you can actually turn it. I don't know if you can.
Make little shapes.
You can't see it back here.
You got to temporarily blind the audience online here.
You can't see. I'm aiming a green dot at the green screen, so.
Well, he's already got the feed turned off.
Oh, okay. It's just us then.
Yeah. But you can change. Let's see. Oh yeah, you can change the pattern. It makes a lot of cool things. All right.
There's a teacher launched a balloon from her school on Monday. As I was driving up from Dayton, it went right over my car apparently, and I didn't know she had launched, but she had flown an SBS 13, and it floated for about 3 hours, popped a leak, and came down.
Oh,
It's
bummer.
upstate New York.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I think she put about 6.5 grams on that one.
Hmm.
So I think these Yokohamas are the way to go.
yeah, I think so. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here.
I'm
I've
glad you
been
all
really-
got back home safely, and
Yeah.
now Glenn, of course, came home without any money, but
I had been selling stuff and saving pennies for 2 years to buy that thing, and it was finally just time to pull the trigger.
right.
You know, it worked. I mean, I saved a boatload of money by buying it at Dayton because I didn't have to pay tax and I didn't have to pay shipping.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, so I
How
saved
heavy
it.
is that radio?
Gosh, feels like about 15 pounds.
Oh, okay, about the same as my
Probably about maybe 20.
TS 2000 then.
Yeah, it's definitely not a light radio.
All right, guys. Good night. I'm getting off here. I'm turning everything off.
All right,
I'm
I'll see you
still
later. I'll be
Richard.
back in Alabama next Tuesday. So,
All right, man.
All
We'll
right,
see you.
We'll see you next week.
all righty, bye now.
Bye.